And so it's your intentions you connect with, and that way you don't get caught on your short-term gains or your short-term losses or whatever. You connect with those intentions, you know those are pure, connect with the faith, and then you surround yourself with people that keep you on that track and raise that temperature. And that's something anybody now can think about and say, okay, which one of those things am I not doing well, if maybe all three, and how can I start to take the action steps even today to start changing one of those in an intentional way?
Yes, absolutely. And by the way, the reason I list those three is at one point I lacked all three. At one point I had a very low identity. At one point I had no self-confidence. Hopefully, people are inspired by the fact that I'm a really average dude. And I don't say that to like be self-deprecating. I really am.
Yeah, because that's hard for us to believe, Ed. I mean, that's hard for us to believe. I got to take a time out and I want to get back to some of these points. But Ed, it's hard to believe you were ever average. So can you explain this to and make us believe it? Because you seem like a high performance person in all aspects of your life. And it seems like you always have been somehow. Yes. So tell us how that's not true.
I'm not going to be dishonest and say that I'm not now. I am. I mean, I have bad days and I'm sad and frustrated and all that stuff, but I wasn't. We'll get into it in a minute, but I'm this child of an alcoholic. I'm the oldest son, the oldest child of an alcoholic and a drug addict. When you grow up in that kind of chaos and anxiety, you're ashamed. You think you're nothing. I would leave my house most days, man, and go, why can't I have a good family? You know, and you attach your identity to how screwed up your family is. My friends wouldn't even come over my house as a kid. Like, your dad yells too much, man. Our neighbors could hear it. When I'd walk outside, I was ashamed because they could hear it. And then I'd go to school. I got beat up and bullied. I was really little. I was so thin. I was Eddie Spaghetti. Your meatballs are ready. I got teased every day. And there were even points in my life as a child that I've reflected as I've gotten older where I wasn't even sure I wanted to live. I never was suicidal, but I always wondered, what's the point, right? So I had none of that. And even as an adult, I carried a lot of that with me. Just all the limiting beliefs and the things I had to go through as a kid. The good news, we'll talk in a minute, my dad got sober, but so I come from stuff that's just like didn't give me any self-esteem at all. So I had to learn all of these tools that I have in the book, brother, to become a baseline functioning person. But then when it started to work, I went, wait a minute. And I had great money. I had Robbins was young. I had Wayne Dyer when I was young. I mean, friends. And then I had this team psychologist when I played baseball that was actually killed that taught me all the stuff about neuroplasticity way before it was cool and your reticular activating system in your brain. And I learned all this cutting edge stuff. He would have been famous had he not died. I took it and made it mine. So I absolutely come from nothing like that. And I've worked really hard on becoming someone who's self-confident and makes a difference in the world through this stuff.
It's so impressive to hear that progress. And one of the things you talk about is that your dad ended up becoming sober at one point. I think he told you in the car, he said, one more time, give me one more time. And it was probably asking a faith from you that probably seemed impossible, but maybe it showed you that one more time could even exist, even for someone like your dad.
Yeah, one more try.
One more try.
We're driving, we're going to a baseball game. Never seen my dad cry before. After my dad was a dude, man, like a man. I see my dad in more than 40 physical fights. I'm not exaggerating. Side of the freeway, baseball game, Angel game, church one Sunday in the donut line. Like, I've seen my old man scrap. My dad was a dude. And my dad didn't live well the first 15 years of my life. And then he lived magnificently the last 35, the best I've ever seen. My belief that humans can change stems from I watched my hero do it. But he's crying in the car that day. He goes, hey, look, I'm going to go away. I'm going to try to quit drinking one more time. I said, Daddy, what would be any different this time? He had tried to quit a bunch of times. He goes, I'm losing you and my family. Your mom's taking you guys from me. And the truth is, you deserve a dad you can be proud of. And your mom deserves a husband she can respect. So I'm going to give it one more try. The first one more I'd ever heard in my life was that one. And then when he got sober, and I know you relate to this, when he got sober, I said, Dad, are you never going to drink or use drugs again? And he goes, I can't promise you that, but I know this, I'm not going to for one more day at a time. And my dad stacked up 35 years of those one more days into sobriety till the day he passed away. And for me, that lessons, I've used it a lot, Brian. Like a lot of businesses I've had, my back was up against the wall. What we say, never quit. You start trying to make these lifetime decisions under pressure, you're like, screw it. I didn't do that. I just went, I'm not going to quit for one more day. Just one more day. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to stick around one more day. See how I feel tomorrow. And some of those days I felt different. I stacked up those one mores into now a 35-year business career. One funny thing I realized recently, I'll just tell you this, you get a kick out of this. My dad got sober on 420. That day he was crying was 420. Only my old man will get sober on the date of 420 in our life. And my dad never again celebrated his actual birthday. He celebrated his sobriety birthday the rest of his life.